What's up, y'all? It's Jasmine J here with another episode of CCGO. And today we get to highlight a podcasters here in Houston and people I know from way back. So Just Us Pod, I want to welcome y'all to CCGO. If we could take our time, introduce yourself, what y'all do, and what brought y'all here today.
I'm Fabian, 1/3 of the Just Us podcast, and basically, we had this idea over a year ago to sit around and do what we do normally at the barbershop, and when we get together, and just shoot the shit. You know what I'm saying? Just sit around. We can cuss?
Yeah, for sure. Be yourself.
Yeah, just shoot the shit. So that's basically what we do. And it's grown to a lot of other things. We talk about relationships. We talk about life. We do still shoot the shit.
Yeah.
But
I seen y'all had y'all daughters one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to that.
Ultimately, it's grown at such a fast pace and at such a rapid pace that we weren't even prepared for.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just us shooting the shit. It's just us. We embody the name. That's
I
exactly
love that. Shout out to you. All right.
I'm Dennis, another third of the Just Us podcast. Big East Side shit,
Hey.
But yeah, like Faye said, we had an idea. We had a lot of things to talk about. The group chat was hilarious. The group chat used to get deep. So we're like, all right, let's run it.
Yeah.
And here we are, 52 episodes later, going on 53. So.
Hey, shout out to that, because people don't understand the level of consistency that has to go behind podcasting. So shout out to y'all. What we got right here?
Yeah, man, it's me, Kendrick. Ken be chilling on Instagram, TikTok. Please follow me because I'm struggling.
Run the numbers up for me.
Run it up for that boy.
I also don't do nothing to get him either. But I guess you could say I complete the third of Just Us Pod. The idea was typically theirs because I pretty much live a quote unquote boring life. I don't do shit. I'm just a dad. But most of the excitement will come from them. But I embarked on this journey to just pretty much embrace like me.
Yeah.
Like I say, a lot of people might think I'm boring or I'm I've heard I'm corny before, but none of that shit true. It don't bother me. And I just want to show a different side of myself and my relationship.
I know that's right. Shout out to you, Ken.
Thank you.
So look, I know it's a lot putting together a podcast and then you want to do it with 3 hosts. So let's talk about the journey. How did it get started? Has it always been just y'all? How did you come to the point where it's like, okay, we finna do this podcast together, and what was that journey like?
So let's say what sparked it, of course, Ken and I have known each other since
way back
grade.
in the gap.
Yeah. Met Fave in 2017, 16, something like that. Mm-hmm. We were all working together. So there was a big group chat at the time, right? And a lot of jokes flying here and there, whatever. We all go separate ways in from working together to go in separate ways, but the group chat stays there, right?
Right.
And then life happens. I think all 3 of us go through really, pivotal parts of life. Mm-hmm. To the point that it was like, all right, we going through this. There's a lot of other people going through this or similar things. 3 men willing to speak about certain things that we're going through, how our mental health is and how we're coping with things, how we know that, maybe what we're doing is not the greatest thing to get through it, but figuring out how to get through it.
Right, getting through it. Period.
Exactly. And we just got the ball rolling, right? I'll let y'all take it from there.
So let me ask you, what's your experience like? Meeting up with 2 brothers. How often do y'all shoot?
We shoot once a week.
Once a week, weekly. Yeah. Man, shout out to y'all. Yeah. So what is that experience like? Every week, everybody got to be on time. There's a place, there's a schedule. What is that like?
First, I'll start by saying there were 4 mics.
Right.
Okay.
We started with 4. It was a lady. It was a young woman. She's no longer a part of the podcast for reasons we don't even have to get into, but I do want to put that out there. She was a big part of what we did for, I think, 18 or 19 episodes. So shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to her for sure. Shout out to Mel for sure. She was actually recent on one of the recent episodes. Actually.
Oh, yeah. Y'all brought her back and talked to her. I love that.
But as far as the experience, oh, my God. Man, we go through it.
Yeah.
We argue, we fight, we have good days, we have bad days. Whatever you think about,
It's
goes
happening.
on in the business, it's happening. I'm always late. Ken is late just as much as me. Of course, he's on time, but that's just because he's not our race. No, I'm kidding. But no, man. It's ups, it's downs, it's everything in between. Like whatever you can think about that could go wrong, that can go right, that doesn't go at all sometimes.
Right.
Losing footage, having to reshoot an episode.
Man, listen, that losing footage, it'll make you want to just stop. Like, you know what?
Let me tell you.
I'm out the game.
We shot one episode, 3 times?
4.
Yeah, 4 times. 3 times one day,
And then we
had to come back the next day and shoot it again.
So how was that final episode? Was it
Cool.
hitting or
It was
was it
alright.
like exhausting?
You could tell
That y'all
on
shot
camera that we were just exhausted from having to do it so much. It was literally exhausting.
Yeah. So Kendrick, what has been your experience, like I say, with 3 people and what that whole experience is of having to show up every day, once a week to record? So what's that been like for you?
It's been cool, but most of the part. The only adjustment for me, I would say, is the exposure. Because like I said, I'm not one for spotlight. I've never cared for it. This, like I said, this really wasn't my idea. But I do love the fact that I can show up every week and I get to have a conversation with people I call my friends. And that's what's most important to me.
Shout out to that.
Yeah. What I don't like, he said, is the arguing. And I don't like to argue. I hate to argue. I will shut down.
Like, you know what? Tap me out.
Yeah, it ain't worth it to me.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's cool.
And we argue. We are
It's mainly
on
them two.
camera,
It's
off
mainly them.
camera.
So y'all are very
phone.
transparent.
Very.
For sure.
And
love
I'm
that.
big on that too. I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh no,
but
go ahead.
That's what I've told them. You know, and I've had some experience before this, right? Like I've been on camera and I've done things before. I've went viral, a lot. But what I've told them is we're only gonna go as far as how transparent that we are.
For sure.
That to me, when I look out into the podcast space and the podcast world, that's what could I say cultivate? That's
Yeah.
what cultivates
Hey,
people.
shout out to
okay.
that.
That's what cultivates people into the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's when they say arguing, I don't think that we're necessarily bickering at each other like, whoop yo. It's more so, man, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need to be doing this. We need to be. It's more so
Right.
that lane.
And that's with anything, any business, any partnership, anything there's multiple people involved. It takes time to like learn each other. We have a team here. Some of them staff, some of them interns, but today is not what day one was like for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to learn people. So what I applaud about y'all is that y'all keep showing up. Like I've seen the growth in the podcast. When I heard Kendrick on my timeline, I'm like, oh, this is for real because Kendrick is really talking on here. I love that. But no, that's what men need to see, especially in this time, in this generation after the pandemic. Like it's a lot going on. People go through a lot of stuff personally. So when they can see other people doing it, they're not ashamed,
Right.
in a sense.
And to be clear, we didn't know what we was doing. We came in it having to figure out everything, YouTube, talking to you, talking to Vic, people who are involved in other podcasts and other production areas and trying to piece everything together. It's been tough. Yeah. It's been tough. And I think that we're exactly. And I think we're still
that's really the best
progressing
way
on
to
our
learn.
production too. So
No, for sure.
it's up.
For sure. It is up. That's why I'm glad I brought y'all in so I can, we can take this time and really highlight what it is that y'all are doing. So let's talk about friendships and relationships, So do y'all call yourselves genuine friends or is this all for the show?
It depends on the day. No, for sure.
And even with that, that's what friends are, right? It just depends on the day. These are my friends.
Yeah,
You know
these are
what
my
I'm
brothers for real.
saying? We are the most vulnerable with each other in the space that we have created together. Like you said, we've known each other since 2016. But since 2016 till now, we've been through a lot of things together. Like outside of the podcast, before we started the podcast, we have literally been through so much trauma, so much happiness, a lot of things outside of the podcast we've been through as far as friendships go. And nobody knows that it's just between us. And I call that friends because you don't tell people who you don't call friends certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And do you feel like the friendship that y'all have built off camera has really strengthened how y'all show up on camera?
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. I don't
I don't think we would enjoy it as much
Yeah.
if we weren't friends off camera, you know?
Yeah. So I have a question. So the days that it is just a little rough, it's a little hot, how do y'all show up and get through the show? I want to know, Kendrick, how do you show up when them two clowning? How you show up to the show?
I just sit back and I just let them do what they do.
I know that's right.
Yeah. You know what?
They're headstrong. Like when they get to going, once he starts screaming, he'll shut down afterwards because he's not gonna keep screaming with him. And I'm the same way. I'm not gonna scream to begin with.
I wouldn't say we scream though.
When the voice is elevated,
the octaves get high.
Yeah.
The pitch gets high. Yeah. I think that's the beauty of it though, Jazz.
Sure.
I think we show up because we know that there is something there and we're not doing it for nothing.
yeah.
Like that's why we keep showing up. We show up because we know that the passion that we exuded during whatever happened is because we want this thing to work.
Right.
And I think that's the beauty of it.
And that is the beauty of it.
For me, this is a job.
Yep.
You know, and one thing about me, I'm gonna work. So if things are all right, me and him get into it, camera starts, we here. We got a job
finna do what we gotta do.
But nah, I mean, I wouldn't say it ever gets tough to shoot, like because we've gotten into it for whatever reason. I think all of us are at the point where we know how to turn it off and on.
Yeah. And that's the beauty. And that's why the podcast is doing what it's doing. So let's talk about that. I know y'all say y'all talk about different things on the podcast. So who would benefit the most? What type of listener would benefit the most from tuning in to Just Us Pod?
I would say, and it's crazy because we were just looking at that, right? And I think the demographic that probably would benefit the most would be our demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, our age group, male or female. I wouldn't say kids too much. I wouldn't say kids too much. Other than the episode that we did have our children on.
I think definitely the generation right behind us, probably because I mean we've been through it, right? We've all come from different backgrounds. We've all gone through different things, whether we know everything about it or not. Like we're here to help people process what they're going through, right? And how to get through it. I mean, ain't no right way or wrong way to get through whatever they're going through.
Sure.
I would also say, like you were saying, a generation behind us, but also anybody that's looking for like a change of not necessarily scenery, but like people around them, because you can get like a different perspective from us as opposed to like, you know, if you're just surrounded by people your age and you're not growing from them, you could look at three dudes that's like in their mid-30s and grab something from that as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like how you put mid-30s.
Yeah, because I ain't late 30s yet.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, but that's
30-ish.
That's really important, though, because I'm really big on the youth, and they are future. Yeah. And I have 3 big grown kids. But, you know what I'm saying? I kind of have to be
me too.
in line with the next generation. But it's really important. They have to have someone to look up to, you know what I'm saying? And the way technology is today, podcasting, gaming, all of that, they're going to be living in a virtual world before we know it. Yeah. So to be pumping out good content or impactful or influential content, I think it's such a big thing, which is why I love what y'all are doing for sure.
I appreciate that.
So for the listeners out there, you know, tell them how they can contact y'all, how they can find y'all, how they can listen in to the podcast, and what's coming up in 2024.
Man, look, first I want to say it has been amazing what has transpired through this podcast. Like the thousands, tens and thousands of followers on every platform like that.
Yeah, shout out to
nuts.
that.
Like it's really, really nuts. And it's only been a little over a year. But shout out to everybody who does tune in right now. But Just Us Podcast, that's JUSUS Podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Wherever you find your social media at, you can find us at. My personal handle is Fat713, PHAT713 on everything as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you want to find us at.
It's just Dean on all social medias. It's _just_Dean. 2 N's, not 1. Get it right. But
Love that.
Yeah, you can find me at Can Be Chillin'. There's some periods in there somewhere along the way. I don't think about it too much. But like you said, it's been a journey. I'm thankful for it. It's definitely an experience. I'm looking forward to more growth, just overall is because, like I said, it's such a great experience. So
Yeah.
I want to see where it can really go.
And I think one thing to highlight about what we do, we open the door for anybody to come on. You don't necessarily have to have a huge social media presence. You don't have to have much traction. If you hit us and tell us that you want to come up to talk, and even if it's we bring the topics or you bring your own, we're open to it, right? I mean, I think some of our better episodes have been from people that we wouldn't have even expected to be so good.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest part. And I think we all had a revelation with the last guest. That's what we are. That's who we are. That's what we've become. This isn't our podcast per se. This is for the people. It's just us. So it's just y'all. Like, this is y'all podcast. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
If that makes sense.
No, that definitely makes sense. So look, y'all brought so much heat, and I want to say to the cultivators out there, listen, if you're looking for a community where you could tap in and, be transparent with middle-aged men, I love that, and just, learn and grow, you definitely need to tap into Just Us Podcast. I've listened to a few episodes. I've been blessed. So thank you guys for what y'all do every day. I know it's work. I know it's hard. I know sometimes you got to push through just to show up to be there for somebody else, but y'all are doing a damn good job at that. So shout out to Just Us Pod. So I got one fun question before we wrap it up.
Uh-oh.
When you're living your dream life, Dennis, or you may be doing it now, what kind of car you going to be driving?
Ooh. Damn. I ain't gonna lie. Probably a truck. I mean, probably a Ford truck. I don't think I ever go back. That's gonna be like the everyday. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a Ford.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be a F-150, 250, or 350 though, but
Definitely going to be a truck.
it's gonna be a truck for sure.
All right,
For
so
sure. I'm too
Kendrick.
small. I need something big, man.
I know
I
that's
need
right.
big
That boy say
presents.
put him on big
Yeah.
wheels. So Kendrick, if you had to pick an emoji to describe your personality, which one would it be?
The one with the shades.
Cooling. That boy say he in the back.
Immediately.
Yeah.
In the back cooling.
I would have said the moon.
I don't.
Uh-oh. Inside joke.
See what I'm saying? Look, I can't look at it.
Look, Nasa Darian laughing in the back.
Oh my God.
Man,
All right, so we're going to get you to take us out. No fun question for you. I want you to drop something inspirational to anybody out there that wants to start a podcast, wants to get in this industry. What is your advice to them?
Look, man, just do it. Just do it 100%. And we see the post. We see the people in the comments. Oh, take their mics. No, go buy them. Go to Best Buy. Go to wherever you go. Go buy the mics. Set up. Do the podcast. They're talking about the podcast era is over. No, it's just getting started. Like, this is just getting started. If you want to do this, if you want to be in this space, go do it. Do not let anyone say that you cannot do this or it's too late or it's over with. No, just do it.
There you have it. Just do it with Just Us Podcast. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of CCGO. It's your girl, Jasmine J, and I'll see you next time.
Appreciate it.
Deuces.